Hey there, it's Chris with Acting Creative, and this is a handwoven experience. And in today's episode, I'm going to talk about design in weaving. You see, as weavers, it is very easy to get hyper-focused on the technicalities and the functionality and the details of making a piece of fabric. However, this is still a very creative process, and we are artists. Whether or not you want to call yourself that, that is okay. But there is a creative, artistic component to this whole process, right? As weavers, we just happen to have a lot of details to worry about to go with the creativity. So I think it's important that as we are creating our woven pieces of art, that we give some thought to design. And in order to really understand design, I'm going to share just a couple really easy basic principles that will guide you as you are planning and creating your weaving projects. Now, this is a nice big round topic, and I have a couple of ideas for you. So this is just the first in a few episodes all about design in weaving. So for today, we're going to tackle leaning into the odds. Now, let me tell you what that means. In design, you're rewarded by using odd numbers. Have you ever noticed this? As you look at an ad, as you look at a commercial, as you look and pay attention to the things around you that are being designed, they are in odd numbers. They're not typically in 2s and 4s. They're in 3 and 5 and 7. So let's talk about how we can lean into the odds in our weaving projects. Let's start with a little look at the warp yarns. What's an easy way to embrace the design there? So let's look at this guy here. See how I have 3 kind of big fat stripes? Our eye likes to have something in the middle. That's why odds are our friend. We like to have something right in the middle. If you have a seam in the middle, we're constantly kind of divided between 2 sides, but our eyeballs are much happier to be like, oh yes, the middle stripe. We like that. So as you are thinking about planning for your warp yarns, it's an easy way to do it, friends. Just give yourself 3 big fat stripes and see how you like that, right? Here's another option for us. When I was doing art fairs all the time, I would always bring a table loom and weave while I was there, but I always wove the same width fabric because it would make, it was wide enough for my wallets. So this is an example. I always had 7 inches, always. So you can see my stripes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 inches. And even though these 2 middle ones are kind of similar, this is my middle stripe right here. There's a certain kind of balance to it, right? Because you have an odd number. You have a center. So it's kind of like your eyeballs are always searching like, where's the middle? You're like, oh, there's the middle. I can enjoy it now, right? Let me give you an example of how you can think about odd numbers in design for the weft. This is actually a very early project from one of the weave-alongs. Woohoo! This was a twill project that we did. Let me back up enough so you can see it. Now, it's a table runner, right? And I did it in 3 components. The weft, I had a regular twill here, had some kind of fun zigzag here, and some other variation right here. But there's 3 sections. So when I lay this on the table, as I look around, I'm like, oh, I of course know exactly where the vase with the daisies is gonna go. It's gonna go in this section because it is in the middle, because I used an odd number to design the entire project. Now, whether you like this kind of 3 evenly spaced chunks in your weft, doesn't really matter. Imagine if these are smaller, you have 1 big middle section and some kind of stripes at either end. The idea is just to have an odd number. The ratios, you can play with that. You don't have to have them all evenly sized, but the fact that you have an odd number, 3, 5, 7, 9, go up from there. But as you start to pay attention to this idea, this principle, you will see more and more how things are laid out in odd numbers. And I am not saying that we have to go paint a Picasso or do something, crazy in the art world. However, I would like you to ponder that you can add some really basic design principles to your weaving project. And one of the easiest ones is to do things in odds. So Tell me, friends, as you look around, do you see things in odd numbers? Now that I bring it up, I hope you see things everywhere. Pay attention to what you see on the ads on TV and on your laptop and in the magazines or print ads or whatever. Start to notice how odd numbers are important when you're designing something. And then you don't have to go crazy, but take a baby step and think about that when you're designing your next weaving project. Yeah? We'll lean into the odds. Our eyeballs will be much happier for it. All right, friends, have a great week. Happy weaving.